So hello, I am Ankur Hazarika. As you have known that my channel is Gitismita Hazarika, and recently I have updated a new file that was on the first chapter of chemistry, carbon and its compound, for the summative assessment, the second syllabus. And in that slide I have said about the various topics to be covered in the chapter. So today we will be taking out these four main points from the chapter. That is, what is carbon, tetravalency, catenation, and organic compounds, or what is organic chemistry. So let's move on without any delay. Let's move on. And let us first describe that what is carbon. So carbon, whenever we say that carbon, we always think of something blackish substances. And whenever there is carbon, the carbon, whenever there is a word carbon, we think that there is something blackish substance which is present in the nature. Yes, it is blackish and definitely. But whenever we say carbon, actually in the presence, when human exists, there are in the earth, there is negligible carbon, only 0.02% in the atmosphere and 0.03% in other spaces. But if we study the human structure, the internal structure, we can find carbon everywhere. So these are just a simple thing that I have said about carbon. Now let's simply move on to the internal structure of carbon. Now atomic number of carbon is 6. So we have said that atomic number is 6. If we read the periodic table, you have definitely read in class 8, 9, 10, in the prior classes we have read. So from the periodic table we can say that the atomic number of carbon is 6. Now let's move on to the electronic dot configuration of carbon. That is E dot configuration that we see. Now according to the Bohr-Body rule, that is 2n square, by maintaining this particular formula, that is the Bohr-Body scheme, we can find out that each shell of carbon actually is made up of something that is 2 electrons in the first shell and 4 electrons in the outer orbit or the valence shell. We have known that the atoms actually consist of some shells, energy shells, that are named as K, L, M, N, and so right from the atomic nucleus towards the electrovalence shell or towards the valence shell. So depending upon this rule, we can say that the electronic dot configuration of the carbon atom is 2.4. As we have known about valency in class 9, from the electronic dot configuration of the carbon atom, we can see that valency of carbon is 4, because so as to get the nearest inert gas atomic electronic dot configuration, either the carbon atom will have to lose or gain 4 of its valence electron, which is actually impossible. That's why we'll come to know about a very new thing, that is, we say as it is not an electronic compound, but we will say about covalent compounds. Now what are covalent compounds? For that, simple thing that we are to know from all these things is that we are to simply think that carbon has just tetravalency. That is tetravalency of carbon. Now what is tetravalency? I have said that is the valency of carbon is 4. 4 means tetra, and since its valency is 4, that's why we say it as tetravalency. Now, since the atom of carbon does not permit to give out or gain 4 of its valence electron at the single time, it is impossible for any atom. That's why what will carbon do? Because all the atoms of this universe will have to come to some stable configuration, and in doing so, what will the carbon atom do? So as to become some stable atom, we are to form some covalent compounds of carbon. Now, covalent compounds of carbon means that when two atoms are there and these atoms cannot form any ions, that is either positive or negatively charged atoms, that we say as ions, either cations or anions. Any ions, if these particular atoms cannot form, then they will mutually share the valence electron of their atoms so as to bond, so as to get a bond. And in terms of carbon, we will find such type of bonds which are not formed because of some formation of ions, but they are formed because of some internal mutual understanding of the valence electron to be bonded together. And in such a case, we will find what is called as covalent bonds. And the compounds that are formed by such covalent bonds are called as covalent compounds, which are called as covalent compounds. So that's the thing, covalent compounds. And these covalent compounds is formed only when tetravalency like situation come into view for the particular atom. Not only about tetravalency, we will find various other situations where covalent compounds will be formed. In a very flat manner, we can say that whenever there is not any formation of some ionic compound, we will find out that the compound that is formed is a covalent compound. Now, since carbon has the same situation, that is, it is suffering from tetravalency, and at the same time its atom does not permit the losing or gaining of 4 valence electrons at the same time, that's why carbon atoms will finally mutually bond together to form covalent bonds and will finally form covalent compounds. But there is a very important thing related to carbon, that is called catenation. Now, what is catenation? That one also will come to know. Catenation means the self-linking ability of the atoms. That is, one atom can link with its own kind of atom in a broader manner. That is, carbon can link with carbon to form long chains of carbon. Such an ability is called catenation ability. It is not that this catenation ability is only related with carbon, but with various other elements like sulfur, we can find this catenation ability. For example, sulfur actually forms an S8 molecule, which is particularly shaped like this, and each dot here defines a sulfur atom. And this formation of sulfur catenated compound, these are also actually bonds. These are actually covalent bonds between the sulfur atoms. And such a structure that is formed by sulfur so as to become a stable, they form this particular formation. There are other formations for sulfur as well, but we say it as an S8 molecule. And this stable molecule is formed only because of these covalent bonds and catenation. The catenation ability of sulfur is limited to only 8 atoms. But If we say about the catenation ability of carbon, it is up till infinity. That is, if you say that I have given 1000 carbon atoms to so as to form a long chain, it is not a big deal, because carbon can go farther and farther in a larger direction, because actually it can go till infinity, because infinite numbers of carbon atoms can self-link with one another to form long chains of carbon. So this ability is called as catenation. I hope that this is also clear. Now, talking about catenation, we have completed about catenation. One most important thing that this board's paper actually asks, that why carbon can form lot amounts of compounds in this world, irrespective of their negligible presence on their earth, which is 0.02% in the Earth's crust and 0.03% in the Earth's atmosphere. Apart from this negligible existence of carbon, it can form lot amount of compounds. Why is it so? It is because of this tetravalency and catenation ability up till infinity. These are the key factors that forms larger amounts of carbon compounds to exist in this earth, irrespective of their negligible presence in the earth, that is only 0.02% in the earth's crust and 0.03% in the atmosphere. Irrespective to all these things, actually what happens is that there is lot amount of formation of carbon compounds. So this is a great question that is asked in several boards paper in the last years, if we say. Then we will say about the last topic of this slide, that is organic compounds. You might have heard about organic compounds. All of us actually have come across this word. If not, then please go through it. The organic compounds. What are organic compounds? Organic compounds are such compounds which have a carbon atom present in the compound. For example, we can take it anything. We can say CH4, it is a methane. If we say CH4, it is definitely a organic compound, because in this particular compound we can find out that there is carbon. So any such compounds that are formed which have a carbon atom related to that particular compound, then that compound will be called an organic compound. And as I have said that, I will definitely say about organic chemistry. Yeah, what is organic chemistry? Organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry that is particularly dedicated so as to reveal the various facts regarding the chemistry that is related to the formation and the study of the compounds where carbon is there, that is the organic compounds. If some branch of science is there which studies carbon, which studies the various compounds of carbon, then such a department of chemistry will be called an organic chemistry department. And this is all for the slide of this month's, and other slides I will definitely prepare so that as I have said that this is one of my dream that we should flourish together, and in doing so actually I have prepared these slides and other informative slides I will definitely prepare so that I can receive my goal, and at the same time you all will flourish with me. That is what I want. And I would like to ask my viewers that if someone have yet not subscribe my channel, please go to YouTube and search the channel Gitismita Hazarika, and please subscribe it so that I can help you to the level that I can, And I would definitely try my level best so that I can bring you the various informative slides. Thank you.